The headlines: Honorable Manasseh Mailanga calls for the legalization of additional payments to public service officers for services rendered. Operation Render Safe ORS in Western Province successfully concluded. And after 20 years, Siakol coordinated a full-scale stimulated emergency exercise at the Henderson International Airport. Hello, you're watching SIBC's TV News Bulletin. I'm Sharon Nanao. Honorable Manasseh Mailanga calls for the legalization of additional payments to public service officers for services rendered. Under the current law, payments that are given to public officers as gratitude is termed as a corrupt act. Alex Dadamu reports.
Minister of Infrastructure and Development MID Honorable Manasseh Mailanga has called for the legalization of additional payments to public service officers for services rendered. The minister was referring to payments that are currently classified as bribery by definition. Honorable Mailanga made the statement while contributing to motion number 3, Consider Paper National Anti-Corruption Strategy, which was moved by the Leader of Opposition, Honorable Matiwale, on Friday.
We legalize all the processes, Mr. Speaker. If you want to get your passport fast, you pay more. Put them there. You put them another $500 so that have fast track. Or if you want to get your payment out, you pay so that your payment out. For what officials waka straight, corruption, waka wa imitatak to talk about it, Mr. Speaker. I mean, this is something we sit down and we talk about corruption. Hem na how you look it, because money like fast track here, yeah. So why not put a fast track payment there? Legalize him. So these are some of the things that even for and think about how not by me doing for corruption me to talk about, yeah, for me sideline. Yeah. So that doesn't mean corruption because that's legalized. That payment is legalized, Mr. Speaker.
Meanwhile, Honorable Matiwale, in his contribution to the motion, says public service workers must be aware that they are trustees in their workplaces. The public expects them to be accountable when discharging their respective responsibility.
But I think when we're dealing with the public life of our country and the public life of our communities, as leaders, whether I'm chief or I'm chief lotrai or I'm pastor or bishop or member of parliament or minister, we're all trustees. We've been entrusted, and with trusteeship comes accountability. We must be accountable, we must be open, because we're not dealing with our own personal private affairs, making decisions only for our private affairs, but we're making it in trust for everybody else. Ino kain trustee we se selem lan no antape normal. Bar korupsi ni. So tribe no sar bagay ko sa sign off tekem selen finis kain korupsi no mo. We cannot use culture to excuse that kind of abuse and corrupt. So I think this thinking of trusteeship now must be foremost in our minds when you go for deal or one for ministry or government. That public officer is not there because dadi belum na on a ministry, Mr. Speaker. I'm there because I'm entrusted with public powers. And so that public officer must exercise those powers openly, transparently, but also rightly, not under the influence of treatment or bribery or threat.
The National Anti-Corruption Strategy motion was passed by Parliament's Committee of the Whole House stage. Alex Dadamu for SIBC TV.
Operation Render Safe ORS in Western Province successfully concluded on Friday. Operation Render Safe is the long-standing ADF-led operation supporting Pacific Nation to dispose of remaining World War II explosives in the region. Andrea Mahanua traveled to the Western Province and filed this story.
Operation Render Safe, ORS, in Western Province successfully concluded on Friday last week. Around 260 multinational bomb experts and officers from the RSIPF Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit made up the Australian International Mission. A group of national and provincial leaders, including heads and representatives of diplomatic missions, visited the ORS team in Munda on Thursday. Australian High Commissioner to Solomon Islands, Rod Hilton, highlighted this is the largest operation ever conducted.
This has been the largest land-based render safe operation ever conducted and is focused on removal of explosive remnants of war from over 180 sites here in Western Province, including Munda, Kolombangara, Kahinga and Vonu. It has been a significant effort that has achieved great results together to cover 3 land and 2 maritime areas of operation. It has been supported by aircraft operating between Australia, Honiara and Western Province, including the C-130J Hercules, C-17 Globemaster and the MV-22 Osprey aircraft. I'm also pleased to say this has been the most successful Operation Render Safe ever conducted. So far, more than 2,700 bombs have been disposed and more than 3,100 bombs have been removed from communities. This is more than a year of normal operations in a very short period.
The bomb disposal operations are expected to benefit communities and the country as a whole.
This work directly affects all parts of the Solomon Islands by, importantly, reducing the likelihood of casualties in communities. Secondly, providing families and communities with access to more land for food, cultivation and for infrastructure. Thirdly, providing a safe environment around villages and schools. And fourthly, helping to improve the conditions for economic development now and into the future.
Meanwhile, Supervising Minister for Police, Trevor Mahaga, emphasized that the operation supports the government's objectives.
What has been achieved here really helps us to actually make sure that our environment is free from these dangerous explosives, and it will really help grow the economy. So just think about this within yourself, that you are contributing to the whole agenda of the government to grow the economy. The World War II has been quite a long way ago, and whatever happens in the bottom of the ocean, on the land, I hope this will not be the end of this sort of operation. We still have a lot of areas in this country to cover and clean up or clear the remnants of the World War, especially the explosives. And it's still quite dangerous for the communities and the people of this country. So I hope all 7 participating teams and also my RSIPF team would continue this sort of operation going into the future, so that we can together help to solve some of the issues that worries the current government and also the people of this country.
Community response to the operation has been positive, with many supplying information to the ORS team. Owner of the Peter Joseph World War II Museum in Munda, Barney Paulson, said the people fully support the operation.
We must get rid with them every dangerous thing, because some of the bombs are toxicated. Like what a bomb is blasting, but like poison. Yeah. What a kind of very strong substances and lot of bombs.
This is Andrea Mahanwa for SIBC TV.
The Solomon Islands Airports Corporation Limited, SIACO, last week coordinated a full-scale simulated emergency exercise at the Henderson International Airport. The stimulation exercise is a requirement under the civil aviation rules in the country. It is required that a major emergency simulated exercise be carried out after every 3 years to practice coordination among all agencies involved in a major airport emergency event. Chief Executive Officer, CEO of the Solomon Islands Airport Corporation Limited, Mike Clay, told SIBC News the exercise is all about learning.
So under civil aviation rules for running an airport in the Solomon Islands, we're required to, at least every 3 years, do a major simulated emergency exercise. And today we undertook that exercise. It was based on a fictitious aircraft crash on airport. And what we're trying to do is practice coordination between all of the agencies that would be required in a major aircraft event. So for example, we opened our Emergency Operations Centre here at the airport, and we coordinated with our rescue fire team, but also the civilian fire service, St John's Ambulance, the police, customs, immigration, biosecurity, and we basically all met on site here and we coordinated how we would first respond to a major emergency event, but also how we would then recover the business from that sort of scenario.
Mr. Clay says for the past 20 years there have never been a full-scale emergency stimulation exercise like the one carried out.
In actual fact, it hasn't been done as a full-scale exercise in the Solomons for nearly 20 years. What we do is quite regular tabletop, desktop exercises, so small versions of what we did today, and we'll just practice the various elements of an emergency response rather than a played-out full response like we did today. I think one of the key things that came out of today was communications. So communication within our own organisation, between our own teams, but also how we better communicate with the likes of the police, the fire service, St John's Ambulance. And that's really the important part of undertaking these exercises, that we identify some key areas that we now go away and focus on and look for improvements.
Siakol is a new state-owned enterprise that came into full operation on 1st October 2023. Siakol has taken ownership and operational control of 10 government airports that were previously managed by the Ministry of Communication and Aviation. The current rate at which forests are being harvested by logging in the country is 5 times the sustainable rate. Logging dominates the Solomon Islands economy, and most of the logging operations in the country do not operate in a sustainable manner. Alex Dadamu with the details.
The current rate at which forests are being harvested by logging in the country is 5 times the sustainable rate. Ministry of Forestry and Research Permanent Secretary Richard Raumai told SIBC News that this is due to lack of proper legislation, an outdated Forestry Act, and no proper forest management. He explained that this has led to a decrease in log exports.
We log for the past 2 decades. So we have true forest and renewable resource and grow back. But the rate where we harvest come, roughly around 5 times sustainable rate of the forest for keeping moving. So because of lack of proper legislation, outdated Forestry Act, any proper forest management and mapping come, we are exploiting too much now. A timber, log, forest claim was online. What happened now is the decline, him indicating that inside the forest the stock there and go down to So we follow the forestry, but start feeling that a lot of companies are complaining, follow garden log now the concession areas. So I'm evident that you may run down the stock trees for exploiting.
Mr. Raumai adds another factor contributing to the decline in round log exports is the introduction of the carbon credit initiative.
If you need good, this time carbon credit, carbon credit, and come in, where I call them payment for environmental service. So a lot of communities now are organized for protecting forest blotter, so that they benefit now from carbon credits. So meaning that trees blotter look up to but not like alarm too for logging. So him too might be one area that will contribute for decline now of the commercial native forest premium.
SIBC News understands addressing the negative impacts of logging activities in the country is a challenge, as the Solomon Islands economy relies heavily on the foreign earnings of round log exports. Alex Dadamu for SIBC TV.
The reviewed labour mobility policy and framework is now with the Cabinet for decision-making. Andrea Mahanua reports.
The reviewed labour mobility policy and framework is now with Cabinet for decision-making. Permanent Secretary for Foreign Affairs and External Trade, Colin Beck, confirmed this during a press conference on Friday.
First of all, basically on the labour mobility policy, we have reviewed the policy already. It is now with cabinet, so that's something that that is already awaiting a decision on it in terms of rolling it out going forward.
The Labour Mobility Scheme has benefited more than 7,600 Solomon Islanders with jobs in Australia alone since its conception. Beck says the reviewed policy aims to ensure that wealth and employment opportunities are shared evenly across all provinces.
A lot is expected out of it because we have learned important lessons from the first policy where Mifal get him. And certainly also where we would try to ensure that wealth is spread throughout the country. So where there is underrepresentation, we would like to ensure that there is special attention that is paid to especially provinces where not properly represented. So we will make a special effort to look at that. So if there is another round of recruitment, we must try to ensure some of these things are taken into consideration. So right now, as we look at what the arrangements Mifala continue to ensure credibility will not change.
Employers abroad will continue to select workers they intend to employ from the work-ready pool. The Labour Mobility Unit hopes that opportunities for underrepresented groups will improve in the future.
You must be mindful that the choices the workers forgo does not also belong to Ministry of Foreign Affairs or Labour Mobility Division have more or less employer have doing that for something. But what we intend to do is basically putting under the microscope populations where have underrepresented law within the current labor force, where you may send them out there.
This is Andrea Mahanwa for SIBC TV.
5 agri-business producer organizations from Malaita Province signed a grant agreement with the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. Alfred Pagipitu with the details.
5 agribusiness producer organizations from Malaita Province signed a grant agreement with the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock on Wednesday in Honiara. The organizations that signed the grant agreement are Taki Farmers Association, Alisuri Sustainable Livelihood Association, Ibilaka Copra and Cocoa Enterprise, Green Ag Farm Community, and Kafo Naliki Coconut Farmers Association. The signed agreement is part of the Solomon Islands Agriculture and Rural Transformation SIAT project, a 5-year initiative funded by the World Bank at a cost of $15 million. Speaking to SIBC News, Permanent Secretary Dr. Samson Viulu says eligible agribusiness producer organization can receive funding ranging from $200,000 to $400,000.
The range of funding where agribusiness producers organizations eligible for receiving from minimum 200,000 Solomon dollars to maximum of 400,000 Solomon dollars. However, ABPOs are required for register as associations with them company house, and also have to open them now bank accounts with them commercial banks. Then have to provide him 10% of the grant. So if he 200,000, have to provide him 20,000. So total budget them 220,000. This fala project may focus lo 3 provinces, lo every subsectors and industries of agriculture na, except 3 na normal. 3 na bilnat, kava, wetem cattle or buluka.
Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary Dr. Samson Viulu encouraged rural farmers and communities in the 3 provinces engaged in agriculture to consult with the technical team at MAL for funding opportunities.
Encouragement here is to encourage all our rural farmers and communities inside the 3 provinces. Lo Guadalcanal, Malaita, and Makira For if you get many agriculture activities law there, where you get like for receiving funding from this fellow project, look at must visit him, look at extension officers below ministry, look at three provinces here, then seek him technical assistance law there, but help him look at for drafting look at proposals, look at
For SIBC TV, I'm Alfred Pangepitu.
Now, the New Zealand High Commission Office in Honiara successfully hosted the New Zealand Festival at the Multi-Purpose Hall. Eliza Kukutu attended the festival and found this story.
The New Zealand High Commission Office in Honiara successfully hosted the New Zealand Festival at the Multi-Purpose Hall in Honiara on Friday. The festival, which is the first of its kind, aims at showcasing and promoting the ongoing relations between Solomon Islands and New Zealand. Speaking to SIBC News, New Zealand High Commissioner, His Excellency Jonathan Schwarz, said he is happy to see a good turnout from the public.
Oh, me impressed too much. You may get starker people here. I think thousands of people across all the multi-purpose hall and youth hub area, and I think you may get about 40 plus displays where him cover every aspect, side relationship between New Zealand and Solomon Islands. Him covering government and aid, development stuff, every aspect of cooperation between New Zealand and Solomon Islands, him displayed here. So me happy, me very happy.
Organizations and local businesses that are supported by the New Zealand government were provided the opportunity to share awareness and showcase their products to the visiting public.
Loya today, mi fala Pilo Paso Chocolate House, mi fala loya, mi fala for selling out total local products Bliumi, Lo Solomon, where hem lo there, hemi 75% lo chocolate, 60% lo chocolate, and also 100% paste of chocolate lo 400 grams. And staka we otakam ota bara aske mi fala hauna. Mi fala doing this local chocolate that you me garan. Also ask me about him how mi fala sabi doing some training.
It is a very, very good and important event, and we really appreciate him now. The New Zealand High Commission Office Hilo Solo and Hilo Honiara have organizing this one. It is an opportunity for those who are going to get them support from the New Zealand government for to come and showcase him now. One now what you do with the people Bluyumi, yeah. And for organizations, it's also an opportunity for grow, establish him and grow to networking Bluyumi, so that you collaborate with the work we do because you serving people Bluyumi no more, yeah.
We should do more of this type of festival because you may understand in New Zealand and Australia, ota bara help him to masna ota local businesses inside of Solomon. So mi follow here today display what product lo mi follow Alanson him deal with him coconut, and by looking every products lo here from liquid soap, kokasim desiccated coconut. If we do this often, imi promote him ota local businesses lo Solomon. So for me him good something, and imi should oftenly do him na kain festival also.
With the many display of products and information booths, students who attended the festival were able to build their knowledge and understanding on everyday issues.
Ota help me for children for me for new things like stop violence against women and children, and also about a story about him Hana from time big Mifa should not marry time 15 years old and below. Mifa should be married time above 18 years old and go up. And now what Mifa lanebla and other things too, saka new things. Me think Ota should hold him this kind program every time because what help him for children, for Mifa sabe what not rights below Mifala, and also for what help him for children for learning other things about him this far world.
Yan Kaukui, SIBC TV.
Now, a total of 37 retired police officers have been served with awards of recognition by the Royal Solomon Island Police Force, RSIPF, for their service to the nation. Ian Kaukui with the details.
A total of 37 retired police officers have been served with awards of recognition by the Royal Solomon Islands Police Force, RSIPF, for their services to the nation. The retirees include all files of ranks within the force, such as chief sergeants, staff inspectors, and constables. Speaking at a short parade ceremony to mark the occasion on Thursday, Deputy Police Commissioner Juanita Matanga thanked the retirees for their good work in serving the people and the country.
Me like to say thank you to mas lo you follow kata retirees. What him make me emotional today, it's the challenges that everyone facing. Look at the work, the time you follow the police force. Everyone sabe that being a police officer in a country like Solomon Islands, it's not an easy place to do policing. Especially this country having lack of infrastructure, resources, but the resilience that you retirees have shown in your area of duty, me no sabe how for explaining. Thank you, Lord, hard work where you're doing to make a difference in this country. Me like for also acknowledging of the families below you follow. Without the support of the families below you follow, Baba imi no sabe dream one them mandated him to follow. But this is the only thing that I can do on behalf of this organization and the people of this country. For me, I say thank you by giving you a little bit of token of appreciation. And now one me dream today.
Mrs. Matanga also challenged the current officers to carry on the good work left by the outgoing retirees.
Me like also putting this one as a challenge over the police officers blame me. This policing force, Hemi Blow Yufalaya. They have make a difference in during their time. And it's up to you to surpass them. Hemi waka blow you na. Ogata by leaving you. And maybe next time by me fala to leave. Because this is the nature of our work. So me happy to mass that you fala come for witnessing now the parade where executive where I put him for recognizing the hard work where I retirees where I dream.
Meanwhile, one of the retirees, who also the former director of traffic, William Fofaka, described his journey in the police force as a challenging one that comes with the passion to save the country.
We recruited in 1990, number 8 of January, and we went through process for police, probation, and confirmed police officer, where we served for Malita province for 17 years, and we come along Honiara for the rest of my life. We find them a lot of challenges. During our time, salary no matter how low, we receive $125 per month. Yeah, but not fortnight, monthly, $124. Yeah, but we enjoy it. Yeah, we were facing challenges, the policy in Solomon at the time, logistic support, financial support, and not that good. But with that small salary that we were receiving, we feel enjoy. We are content with them, and we feel enjoy career. First thing, number one, something is that service that we feel providing for community. Yeah, save their life and also their properties. That is our number one priority.
The event was also attended by members of the families of the retirees. Jan Kaukui, SIBC TV.
The Forum Fisheries Agency FFA on Friday concluded its 3 days open day event. The regional agency last week opened its doors to the public as part of its 45th anniversary celebrations. Mary Manelegua with more.
The Forum Fisheries Agency FFA on Friday concluded its 3 days open day event. The 3-day was held under the theme, Our People, Our Fisheries, Our Future. The open day, which was held as part of the 45th anniversary celebrations, saw the participation of high schools in and around Honiara. In an interview with SIBC News, FFA Director General Dr. Manu Tupo Rosen says the open day offered schools the opportunity to engage with FFA staff and learn more about the organization's work and their experience.
We're so pleased to receive the beautiful children of Honiara. We have had a number of schools come through the organization yesterday, and we continue today. There's been much interest from our young ones on the work that we do in our fisheries sector. Much interest in its importance and helping us to do this, to protect our fisheries, to protect our oceans. There have been several significant milestones over the 45 years of FFA. I'll point to one that is the most crucial one to ensure our continued success in managing the world's largest tuna fishery, the best managed tuna fishery in the world, where all of our major tuna stocks are biologically healthy, where we continue to succeed with record highs in terms of export earnings at 1 billion.
She adds, the open day brought together students with a lot of dreams and ambitions.
There are many ambitions from our children, from doctors to lawyers to scientists to a prime minister to a governor general to a director general. And so what this open day tells us is our dreams, our goals that these children, our children hold. And so we're excited as FFA staff to help bring those to the fore and welcome them to FFA, and hopefully in future we see these wonderful children take over from us.
Our fisheries, our future.
Mary Manelegua, SIBC TV.
And now the latest in sports with Crofton Utukana.
The Athletic Solomons Association will be hosting their national championship on September number 17 to 20 at the National Stadium here in Honiara. President of the Athletic Solomons Association, Michael Kwali, confirmed this to SIBC Sports in an interview. He says the championship will serve as selection process for training squad for the Pacific Mini Games scheduled for 2025.
National Championship should be number 17 of this month, Kasem 20. 4 days of competition by Mihole National Stadium. I think after Pacific Games, first time athletics come back more traction or big one, big stadium. By the way, this event by two categories. That's under 16 people are looking that this is the pathway for athletics through under 16 putting on time block. So we look forward to much include him under 16 round and should spot him out a good development side for country Blumi. And that is under 16 level and also open category. So those are the two categories by him come on this championship. Looking forward, yes, this event by him selection grounds for the Palau mini games will be next year, and we will take him out of a good squad training for that games. So I think yes, there are other games in hand, but originally Palau mini games should be one where we buy a radium squad for him out of this championship. Yeah.
Meanwhile, SIBC Sports understands after the championship, Athletic Solomons will be conducting their annual general meeting, AGM, on the 21st of September to elect their new office bearers. Crofton Utukana, SIBC TV.
And that's news. Follow us on sibconline.com.sb and our SIBC News Facebook page for more of our latest stories. Thanks for watching.